This is DeAndre Brackensick. I am Third Culture.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking back in. My name is Vaughn Thompson. This is the I Am Third Culture podcast, full-length version with Mr. DeAndre Brackensick, singer-songwriter of American Idol fame.
Yes.
Thank you for welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being here, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Getting back into it, man. I think there's some more gold down there with your experiences of what we tapped into in the short 3 questions. But for maybe someone who didn't even see that the short version. What is your mixture, man? What is DeAndre Brackensick a mixture of?
Racially?
Yeah.
My mom is black and my dad is white, at the simplest.
Yeah.
So African is the term I like to claim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then you also have, you spent some time in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely some cultural influences that come in that world.
So my parents, I was a high school baby.
Okay.
I was the best mistake of their lives.
Come on.
So my dad ended up getting kicked out of his house and living with his really good friend that moved from Hawaii to San Jose.
Mm.
So they took him in. My dad knocked up my mom. They took us in. So I grew up around in a Hawaiian household, in a sense, along with my parents. So in a Hawaiian household with a black mother upbringing and a white dad upbringing. So I kind of just had this very multicultural upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even Hawaiian culture is kind of a fusion culture as well.
It is.
Multi-Asian.
So much, yeah. It's a whole melting pot in Hawaii. Since it's it's an island, so everybody kind of just takes what they want from everything. So you get everything in Hawaii.
Yeah. And how did that affect you, as a young kid? When did you first start to realize I'm not like everybody else, or there are some differences about me that it's sticking out?
It wasn't until I went to school.
Okay.
I didn't kids. Suck.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. Amen to that, bro.
Suck.
All y'all kids watch.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
It didn't come clear to me that my mom was black.
Yeah.
So I went to school. And
she's just mom.
She was mom.
Yeah, she's mom.
Yeah, she wasn't. My mom wasn't a black woman.
Right.
So I went to school. There was different pigments in a sense, but it wasn't. There was no title to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until I went to school and until people kind of saw, because I'd always be like, it'd be like, to my mom, who's your kid? I'm very fair. And when I was a kid, I was a towhead. You know what I mean? It was straight hair, platinum blonde, bright blue eyes. I was very, very fair. So, and my mom is a beautiful black woman. So you couldn't, you wouldn't put them together.
Did they ever think they were adopted or anything? Or
you get adopted, or it'd just be like she's the nanny.
No, okay.
It would never be son. It would never be son, which is terrible because even if it was adopted, that would be my mom, regardless. Because you know what I mean. But yeah, it wasn't until I went to school, and I want to say kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah,
because kids are so honest. They have no filter.
Yeah.
They have no social cues.
Yeah.
They just kind of blurt.
That's all it was.
And unfortunately, that hurts sometimes, man.
A lot.
Because I know from my experience, man, it took me, stuff still lingers today from my insecurities with that. But so, when did you first start to kind of correct the rocking boat, so to speak? With that?
I want to say towards the end of high school.
Okay.
Or even, towards the end of high school. And the end of high school, I wasn't there. I was on Idol. I got pulled out of my junior year.
Okay.
In and out. Junior and sophomore, senior year. I was only there for about 3 months. But end of high school, because even in high school, our school was really kind of just it was so segregated in the fact, and I know it's still like that. Oak Grove, shout out to you. Sorry about it. We'd have Africa. We had Asia, and that's what it was. Even some of the teachers referred to certain parts of the school like that, which found was odd. Now thinking of it, after, but it was just normal. But with that being said, I'm not one of those, so it was really hard to figure out where do I go.
Right.
There was points where I'd be in Africa and they would look at me so sideways, or like some of the girls wouldn't let me like talk to me until they found out what my name was. Or like DeAndre. Oh, okay, you're black. You got the hair. Okay,
Wow.
you're black. You know what I mean? So it was really hard. Or same with like we called Polynesia too at the time. I'd fit in just because I look more like that, you know. But even so, and I was just more versed with the culture. So, but that's not what I was.
Yeah.
You know, internally, that wasn't me. But I kind of just fit there.
Yeah. Fully, it wasn't who you were. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it wasn't until after high school till I was like, you know what, I'm just me. I'm just me, and it was a lot of. I think it was coming off of Idol. Because I never had conversations like this. I never had interviews like this to where you actually cared about the person.
Yeah, yeah.
It was more of a product, so we'd never get questions like this. And it wasn't until like, you know what, I'm just Dre.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I gotta, put it in a category. Yeah, yeah. Once after high school, because I was still kind of stuck in that mental statement of me believing it too. I'm like, no, I gotta be one or the other. I gotta fit in somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I always struggle when they hand out papers you got to fill out.
Yeah.
It was like, are you white? Are you Asian? Are you like, and it's like, I'm kind of that. I'm kind of that. Yeah. It's like other,
Thank you.
Other was like kind of my tag for the first half of my life until I kind of figured out, okay, you can be, I consider myself third culture now.
I love that.
Like, and I've even kind of progressed the term, like, I call myself a misfit.
I like that. I'm stealing that. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Instead of a misfit, because I feel like the initial feeling that we all feel that are kind of like blended or biracial or raised in a foreign land, we feel this. The first thing we feel is the pain. We feel the discomfort, right? We feel like I'm not that. I'm not that. What am I? I'm the outsider. I'm the outlier. Okay, so I feel like a misfit.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you finally reconcile that internally, right, you're kind of like, okay, this is who I am.
Period.
Now I'm a mix fit because I can mix and match my experiences, and I pull from my mom, I pull from my dad, I pull from Korea, I pull from Germany, I pull from America, and now, but no one has my combination. Yeah. And so that's the cool thing that I like about that, and but so I get to see you doing that too, man. So that's why I'm such a big fan of you. It's not because of just the gifting, but I love the packaging, man. Yeah. I love that you represent people that like us, that stand in between these major groups and kind of say, hey, the world's a big place. Yeah. We don't have to be any one or the other. No. Yeah. And so that's really awesome, man. So like, I love, too, like, did you have, like, how were your parents involved in that with you? Like, were they encouraging you, like, or did you find them to be kind of passive toward the whole situation? Did they understand?
They understood to an extent. Again, like my dad's white and my mom's black, so they got a lot of things.
Yeah, there's some contrast.
Yeah, there. and they're young too. Like they had me in the '90s. Like I'm 94, so like, and they were together from the '80s to the '90s. So like it still was a progressive time of the world. So
the world's a different place.
Yeah. And it wasn't taboo, but it was still taboo. You know what I mean? So they even got turmoil off of that. I know, like, around, like, Black African American month, Black History Month, sorry. My mom would be like, and my grandma, and my mom's parents would be more like, you're black. You should learn your culture, learn your people. Yeah. Learn how to be around them, learn our customs and, whatever it may be. Because in our household, it was nothing. It wasn't even just like, it was just like, we're Brackensicks. Yeah. That's what it is. All of my dad's side is they're mixed race. So like my dad's sister, all my cousins are mixed. So all the white side got with black folk, all the black side got with white folk. So it's just it wasn't like we're just the only one out of the family. The whole family was mixed. So it wasn't out of the ordinary. Yeah, yeah. Or like something where like, we can't go over there because that's how they act. They're this type of way. There's them white folks. Or no, they hella black. No. It was just, that's what it was. So it was kind of, it wasn't until I went out in the world to kind of had to really figure it out. Because at home, it was just a normal thing. Gotcha. Yeah.
And so like early on then was the Idol experience. So you told me even... we had in our conversation before we even started recording, like, you were kind of involved in sports and track and things like that in high school. and then you kind of had like talk about this how the music kind of entered into your life. You had this kind of insight from yourself.
So yeah, I always sang. I like since I was a kid.
Okay.
It's like, come out the womb hopefully in key. But, you know what I mean? So it was something I always did. But my family aren't musical, so it wasn't something that was heavily pushed.
Okay.
It was something that was acknowledged, but not really, we didn't go for it in a sense. I started singing in bars and stuff, Hawaiian music.
Okay.
From my Hanai grandparents, the people that, took us in. Since I was like 13, dance school and stuff, very immersed in that culture since at the age of 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been performing in a sense, but not really, again, just for the fun of it. It was more like a extra school activity. It wasn't wasn't like oh, you're gifted, let's work on it. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't until I did a talent show and my mom came, and even me really noticing. My parents came to that talent show. I went, and me doing it and getting the reaction from people, I was like, oh, this is doing something. This lady too, straight came up to me and cried and was like, I really liked you. I was like, oh, this is it's more than just something I like to do for fun. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I can impact somebody else, so it's worth doing. It's worth looking into. But with that being said, my mom was like, "You're gonna do Idol." I wasn't into it at all. I was like,
"What age? What age was this?"
15.
So junior
year.
Yeah. Okay. High school.
Yeah. It's 15. And then we did it. I got my whole dreams torn down after the first auditions, because there's 3 auditions before you get to the main ones that everybody sees.
Okay.
So it's 10, they call it. So just like vocal producers or whatever it may be. You get past that, you go to the management producers, the ones that if you do get farther, you get signed with, and then past that, you get through the producers of the actual show. Producers of the show did not like me.
Okay.
Did not like me at all. Said I sounded like he blew into a balloon and let it go slowly. He really cut deep into how much he did not like my voice.
Wow.
And coming from someone,
sound like issues right there.
Yo, he's British. He's very blunt. British owning American Idol as they do. But coming from somewhere in a place that I wasn't brought up around musical people, so I didn't learn, or I wasn't used to the constructive criticism. I was just like, I'm the boy that could sing. Not in a cocky way, but low key in a cocky way. Just like, I'm the only one around this mother chicken that could sing. You know what I mean? I could sing. And again, being around all those other people that could sing, and having someone else tell me that, you know what, you ain't that great. Was very it was disheartening, because it wasn't something I wanted to do to begin with, but I low key got my own hopes up. But I'm grateful for that experience. I needed that.
So your first audition for Idol, was that the same year that you made it?
So then my first audition I did make to top 40.
Okay.
And then I went back the next year and I was a finalist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one where you that's where you got kind of got your name out there. So let's talk. So there's some gold in there. That constructive criticism is a big deal, man.
Yeah.
So that's how, maybe talk a little bit more about that process. How did that, you talked about how that hurt. It kind of stung. But then you have the choice of what to do with it. So how did you kind of mentally process that?
So as any teenager would do, you'd want to revolt.
Yeah.
And you want revenge in a sense. So that was my first year. And I didn't make it all the way through. So the next year it came around, and it was in San Diego, and I was like, I want to go back and show this fool. I got a couple vocal lessons, and I was like, I want to show this fool that I could do what I do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I don't want to prove myself. I don't want to prove myself. I wanted to prove to him. And so I got that out of my system, which I think everybody needs to have that moment of trying to impress somebody else.
Yeah.
Because at the end of that, it doesn't do anything. He's not losing his sleep over it.
Right.
Me proving him wrong doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me any better. It just makes me petty. So I kind of got that out of the system. And after I did my audition, he was like, sounds good. It sounds good. I don't really like it too much, but we got a lot of complaints last year for cutting you, so we're gonna put you through. You have a good look. Voice still ain't that great, but we're gonna put you through. I was like,
What's this dude's name, man? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Ken something.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah. Nah, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I need it because I could take criticism now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I could take it because not everyone's gonna like me.
Yeah.
I don't expect everybody to like what I do.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their own taste, and that's what it is.
And I think that's part of the gold that I think that I'm wanting, like, maybe the listeners to grab from that, is that, you know, if criticism kills you, man, then you're done.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah. So, like, and I heard another way. Someone, I don't know who came up with this quote, but like, I think there's a few iterations of it. But if it's the praise of other people that fuel you, then their criticism will kill you.
Yeah.
You know, and so, like, I think moving into those creative endeavors, man, you have to have this personal resolve that says, okay, this isn't for everybody.
It's
like
for
you're
me.
saying, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I believe in this. And knowing that there's going to be people that say no. And I think that's so important for younger folks. And I know for me, from my growing up experience, the fear of rejection was really big.
Yeah.
And I think third culture kids kind of inherently have a propensity to that because of you feel like an outsider all the time. You're always struggling to kind of fit in and
or explain yourself.
Yeah, or explain, validate yourself maybe. So that's so good that you had that at such a young age, man. That's really huge.
Yeah.
And so you went on. So keep going with the story, man. You went into that next season. They put you through, and then what happened?
And then I made it to top 8. But more importantly, I made
what year was this too?
2012.
So this was Idol
Season 11.
Season 11. Gotcha.
Season 11. But more importantly than just making it far, I learned so much vocally from being around other singers. And again, we talked about this earlier. If y'all don't know, I've known this man about 9 years now. A long time. Yeah. But I got to finally find a tribe because we were talking about that. I didn't grow up around musical people, so it was nice learning from others. Not even just like, hey, can you teach me how to... It was literally just being around other people and like observing how they did it, how they made that sound, or how they would do their dynamics or their choices, hearing their choices. It was so fun. And I was so blessed to have a group of people that were open for that and willing to share and not be stingy with their gift. So it was nice.
That's so cool.
That was the best part of Idol.
Well, it was phenomenal watching you go through it because I remember, you know, being here in San Jose, watching you go through it. You know, we were cheering you on, voting for you and everything. And that's such a great accomplishment, man. That's nothing to kind of sneeze at, man. That's a big deal, man. And so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And so how about that experience? Any friendships carry over from that?
Yeah. Literally, so because I did 2 seasons. So people from season 1 and then people from season 2. Really, really, really close ones. Ones that I live in New York now. One of them lived down the street and we see each other every other day. Elise Teston, she's a beautiful, beautiful singer. I honestly learned so much vocally from her. She is like a soulful... Well, Janis Joplin's already so. I'm going to say like a mix of Janis Joplin and James Brown.
Wow.
And, like, her voice is ridiculous. And I remember just being in awe of what she could do. And she would be one of the first people to push me. Because we went on tour. We did 48 cities after Idol throughout the U.S., 2 in the Philippines, 1 in Canada. In the arenas. They're big old shows. But she at least would be the first one to be like, try this. Do this. Like, why would you, or if I try something, I just stop. Why'd you stop? Go do it again. You can do that easily. Or why don't you, she'd push me to my, limits. And I loved it. And I fell in love with voice even more because of her. Because there's so much you could do. There's so many things she does. Like one of my favorite singers is Rochelle Farrell. She's a jazz vocalist. She doesn't just keep to melodic form. She uses sound. She uses noises. She uses there's so much you could do with your voice, and it's so fascinating. And everyone's is different. Yeah, it's not like a guitar where you put your shape on and it's gonna be G. It's everyone's has a different tone and it comes out a different way. You
It's
can't
like a
just
fingerprint almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just press it and it's gonna be G. Like there's a certain way that everyone has that's gonna come out and it's gonna come differently. I love it and I fell in love with voice because of her.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. I love the gold, man, that we're extracting, man, because I think, you know, falling in love with yourself, knowing who you are is so big. Learning how to take criticism or even people that just flat out don't like you.
Yeah.
Like that's because that's par for the course. I guess that's kind of what makes winning fun too.
It is
like knowing that everyone doesn't say yes to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think,
and also losing is fun too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't lose nothing.
Talk about it.
I'm
man.
doing something I love to do, and it's for me. And I'll just not to go too forward, but I did an album. And we were just talking about it. The initial process of that was for me. I didn't write with anybody in mind. I wasn't trying to save a life. I wasn't trying to make a difference in the world. I did it for myself.
Yeah.
And if somebody's moved by it, that's just like, you know, times 10, you know, what it was supposed to be. But it was for me. So whether you liked it or not, whether you heard it, doesn't matter because it's mine. And it was meant to heal me in my process and keep me sane.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So the reception is icing on the cake.
It's it's nice. It's not validation.
Right. Yeah.
But it's nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want to plug that for you as we'll go into that in a little bit later. But let's talk. So Idol. So go to that night.
Yeah.
You're voted off.
Oh, that was cool.
How did it feel? What's going on in your mind?
I was great. I felt fine. Again, this is my second year, so it's a TV show. It's not about singing too much. You have to be able to, you have to have talent. It's a TV show. Yeah. And my thing was, my goal, and it's always good to aim for the best, but honestly, my goal was, because I kind of saw how it worked behind the scenes. I just wanted to make tour. That's all so as long as I made the top 10, I was good. I made it to 8. Eric Benet came on the show and met me. It was like I met one of my idols. It was cool. I was fine. And I remember the judges came up to me and they were like, it's okay to be vulnerable if you want to cry. I was like, what do I gotta cry about? I'm 16 years old. Yeah. I'm about to go on 48 arena tour. Eric Benet came to me, you know what I mean? Wow. I'm fine. I get to go home. I don't gotta be stressed out about the show anymore. Yeah. I'm good. I'm not stressed. Wow. So it's good to aim for the best. You should want the best, but you still honor and still give praise to what you accomplished. Yeah, man. I was good. I've done a lot,
bro.
Yeah,
bro. We're gonna wrap up the first segment. We'll get into second segment here. But I just want to just comment. How old are you now?
25.
You're 25 right now. Man, I just want to applaud your maturity, man. It's really, there's a depth to you that because you're so fun loving on the surface, man. You're just this guy he's a nut, man. In a great way.
Thank you.
And you're so fun, and you have this happy go lucky kind of Hawaiian time about you, but yet the way you've been able to make a footprint in the industry because of these, and I'm just saying it's not just gifting, bro. There's a lot of gifted folks out there, but you've been able to make a footprint that you have because of the maturity you've had in these very critical situations where you could have gotten mad at that guy and cursed him and cursed the music business, and done the same thing if you're voted off of Idol. I should have I know I'm better than X, Y, and Z. I should have been number one, whatever, and heck with this. But you didn't. You looked at the positive. You said no, what? I'm 16 years old, man. I just made the top 8. I'm going on tour.
I'm good.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good. And I think sometimes it's so easy for us to look at what we didn't get. Yeah. Instead of what we did get. Yeah. And I just, man, that's huge, bro.
Yeah, and I think, just not to be long-winded, but I think that goes back to being a mixed fit.
Yeah, man.
So we already encountered all our rejection, all our out of placeness growing up.
Come on.
So I think, even though I'm young, we experienced a lot of it at a younger age.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even just like I'm one, because you know, there's minorities. You know,
Yeah.
the ethnic minorities, and that's you know, that's a whole nother thing. But for us, we don't necessarily fit in either category. So we have our own little thing that's kind of overlooked over, you know what I mean? So we kind of went through that already.
Yeah.
So I think at that point when we get a bit older, we're just like, this is for me.
Bro.
This is for me. Period.
Dude, you're inspiring me, man. I'm serious. Like, this is really good, man. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Session 2 coming up real quick.